Welcome, everyone. We're on? Okay, just check it. Meeting of 2017. This is a really special time of year, obviously, for everybody, and it's a time for remembering things from the past and making new memories for the future. I know that I have some 4 and 5 years old, the two daughters were. I approached them and I said, you know, Daddy is a really good friend of Santa Claus, and he has called me up and asked me to do a favor for him. And what he wants me to do is, he can't be everywhere at one time. He wants me to go and represent him. And he's made me an honorary Santa Claus, and he's told me that I can appoint people to be honorary elves. And when someone's appointed as an honorary elf by Santa Claus, they're a real elf for a day. And so my two daughters were elves for a day from the time that they were about 4 years old until they were teenagers. At some point in there, they figured something out. I don't know what it was, but those are some really special memories from my past. And then I have a really special, more recent memory, which was last year. I got to tell that same story to my 6-year-old granddaughter about how Grandpa was a really good friend of Santa Claus. And we went, and she was an honorary elf for the evening at Lowry Park Zoo with the Hillsborough Early Head Start families. There were several hundred Early Head Start families there. It was sponsored by Plant High School. It was a great time. And if you can actually see the expression on her face, she's quite tickled at being a real elf for an evening. So I want to share with you a few news items. I really want to talk to you about communications. From you to us, and from us to you, from those of us in management and administration. But first, some news items. First of all, I think everyone's probably heard, and if you haven't already heard, then you'll hear now, that we have successfully completed our Council on Accreditation reaccreditation process. A lot of work went into that. I'm really proud of the work that all of you did. And I can tell you that the exit was unlike any COA exit I've ever participated in. These reviewers had nothing but positive things to say about you and the work that you do. There were absolutely no concerns noted by them, and I honestly think that several of them probably want to come and work for us based on all of the things that they said. So it really it made me really proud to be with this organization and to work with each of you. I want to talk about the listening tours that some of you may have had an opportunity to participate in. I've traveled all over the state to different program areas and met with some small groups and some large groups of staff members to listen to you, to hear from you about what things LSF is best at, how we're the best place for employees in some cases, what are the things we do that make us the best place for employees or the best place for clients or the best place for investment. And then also to listen to you about the things that we need to do better in order to be the best place. And I got a lot of really good feedback, and we're working on responding to some of it. Some of it we've already responded to immediately, but really were sort of 3 areas that I got a lot of feedback about, some common themes amongst all of the different offices. One had to do with communications. People wanted to know, they wanted to have a better idea what the rest of the organization was about, what we were doing in other parts of the state. Everyone seemed to have a pretty good knowledge of their work and their job and maybe their program area, but they may not even know what LSF is doing across town. We have many cities where we have more than one program represented, and folks were expressed some frustration about not knowing what's going on. Also, people wanted to know about what opportunities might be available for them to advance communication about that. They wanted certain kinds of improved training, like they wanted a better orientation program. I heard that one pretty commonly, and what I heard was that a lot of people got really good orientation, but it was really dependent upon the particular person that happened to do the orientation, their supervisor or the staff person that helped them with that. And they also want to know what we're doing and what our partner organizations are doing to advocate on behalf of clients. How are we trying to change policy, change legislation to make the world better or make our communities better for the people that we serve? Another area was kind of a common theme, had to do with collaboration and breaking down silos, not just communicating about what other aspects of LSF might be doing, but actually making it so that we work together better, so that we have the ability to access all of the things that we know with every client that we work with. You know, the people in Head Start want to know more about substance abuse and mental health, and we have experts in that. And the people in child welfare may want to know more about early learning opportunities, and we've got experts in that. And we've got lots of expertise within the organization, but it tends to exist in silos. And so one of the common themes, and actually most of the listening tours, was the issue of breaking down silos, making people more aware of what we do and who they can call to get some assistance from in a different program area. We've come up with some ideas on how to do that. One of them that you'll be probably hearing more about in the upcoming months is to have some interdepartmental events within communities where we have more than one office, so that staff can get together from different program areas and learn more about what each has to offer the other. And then the third kind of general theme had to do with how LSF deals with the unexpected. And specifically, a lot of talk about Hurricane Irma. And that affected almost the entire state, with the exception of Northwest Florida, which was spared most of the concern and damage from Hurricane Irma. But all the rest of us in Florida, you know, suffered some effects from it, whether it was lack of water in the stores and lines and traffic and no gas, or being without power for days or weeks on end, or worse. And so what I heard from staff members is that, and I've heard this fairly universally, that they were really happy with how the communication happened, how LSF leadership communicated with the field about closing of offices, about work in progress that was being made to reopen programs and offices. They also really liked other ways that they were responded to by their supervisors, by management, giving them extra time off to be able to prepare themselves and their families for the disaster, and then also giving them some time to get settled again, so before they came back to work, and a lot of other things having to do with sort of managing the unexpected. There were, as with anything, there's room for improvement, but in general, it seemed like that was an area of great satisfaction. And then there's another kind of group of issues that were really a lot more site-specific. Things like turnover is a great concern in some areas where we have turnover rates that are just too high, and it keeps us from being the best place for clients, and it's not the best place for employees when you have lots of turnover. Lack of resources to do your jobs, I heard that in some places. And then safety concerns. There were a number of safety concerns that came up in these conversations, and those we responded to immediately. There was a plan of action put in place and an immediate response. So I want to thank everybody that hosted me during the listening tours. I felt very welcomed everywhere. I want to thank everyone that participated. I know that sometimes it's hard to maybe say things, and I didn't feel like anyone was inhibited in saying what they liked or didn't like about LSF, or how I could be a better CEO. I really appreciate the feedback. And the next phase of sort of the communications and listening tour that we're looking at in the coming months is, I want to go out and spend a little bit more time with individual staff members and do ride-alongs and learn firsthand what your jobs are like, so that I can come back here and take that knowledge and know how to be a better leader to you and help you and enable you to do your work more effectively. So if you would like for me to come and visit your program and spend a day and do ride-alongs, please contact the communications department. They're going to be sort of planning out that calendar for the upcoming months. And if you're an individual staff member and you want me to come and ride along with you so that I know what your job's like, again, please send those requests, and we'll try to respond to as many of them as we can. I want to talk a little bit also about the survey. So we talked about the listening tour. We also did this employee engagement survey, and it is the best response that we've ever had to any survey that we've sent out to employees. And I'm really tickled by that. And we got some great feedback from each of you about things that you feel like we do a pretty good job of, and things that maybe we don't do as good of a job of. In general, the areas that the agency sort of rated the highest in this survey were, you know, employees pretty universally said that they were willing to commit the extra effort to do the job above and beyond what they're actually expected of doing. They wanted, so we've got, and we already knew that. We all know that about the people that come to work for this organization, is that they're motivated by a sense of calling, or a sense of trying to really make a difference in people's lives. So people generally said that they were willing to make an extra effort to help clients and to help LSF achieve its goals. We also heard a lot of really positive comments about people's individual supervisors. They may not know what people above their individual supervisor does in the organizational hierarchy, but they know their direct supervisors. In general, there was a high degree of satisfaction. And then also, in general, people felt a clear link between the work that they do and the mission of LSF, the mission to provide healing, hope, and help to people in need. And generally speaking, most staff members could see that clear link between the work they do and that mission. So, you know, living out our mission is really critically important, and managers and supervisors really appear to be doing a pretty good job of helping staff members develop and be as effective as possible. There were some lower scores, and they were actually still pretty good. There was nothing that was, you know, in general, in terms of averages, was a serious problematic trend in the survey. Certainly, there were some areas that we rated lower on in some areas, but in general, the themes, it was pretty positive. But some of those areas where there was clearly more room for improvement had to do, again, with communications, with being informed of what's going on around the organization. People also were not as satisfied with being aware of opportunities for advancement within LSF, or perhaps they didn't feel like there were any opportunities for advancement within LSF. And then finally, there's room for improvement in staff members feeling like they're empowered enough to actually make the decisions that they need to make to do their jobs. Now, these lower scores are clearly areas where I think that we've got some work to do, and we're working on developing action plans to try to resolve those in ways that people can see some impact from the work that's being done. So we'll be reaching out with those action plans again in the coming months that address those concerns. And again, I really want to thank people for being so generous with their opinions and their willingness to provide that information. So, as we promised at the beginning of the survey, all of the information that went out, we're going to award extra days of PTO to 10 LSF employees randomly selected out of a bowl. That's going to happen the minute that this town hall's over. And in fact, those of you that are here live, you'll witness it. But we're going to pull out 10 names of people from around the agency that participated in the survey, and each of them will receive an additional day of PTO. So this is a time of year, again, when for me it's a time of gratitude, where I think of all the things that I feel blessed to have, and ways that I'm thankful. And I'll tell you that that high on my list is each of you, the work that you do, the opportunity to work beside you. This is an incredible organization made up of really amazing people, and I feel truly blessed to have the opportunity to work with you and to get to know some of you well, and hopefully to get to know more of you in the future. So at this point, I want to turn over the program to Chris Card, our Chief Operating Officer, and he's going to talk a little bit about National Adoption Day and the work that we're doing to keep kids safe. So Chris.
Thank you, Sam. Merry Christmas, everybody. Good response. I'm not as tight with Santa Claus as Sam is. He's never asked me to be Santa for him. That's why I got to do some self-promotion here. I've been good. I've been good, Santa. Take care of me later. Christmas time is an exciting and emotional and spiritual time for everybody. And what I want to ask our staff to do is to remember that, and to greet your fellow workers and your clients with a smile, and listen to them and help them see the Christmas spirit in you. My kids are both grown, and all they want now is cash, which I don't have very much of, so they're out of luck. But I do have the benefit of being able to enjoy Christmas with our LSF family. I'm buying presents for some of our former foster kids and some of our refugee families. It's like shopping for when my kids were little. I go around and look for that special gift that they put on their list, to find that one little thing that they want that I have no idea what it is, but I'm going to go find it, and I can't, and I come back home and get on Amazon and buy it that way. I did spend a whole day looking for a blue unicorn onesie, and Amazon did have it. I will tell you, if you want to get it, you can get it on Amazon. So I have the honor of introducing the segment here, affectionately called the PB&J segment. And everybody's got PB&J. If you were in a gathering around the state with one of our groups of staff, you've got PB&J has been delivered by our communications department, and we want you to partake now. Of course, I know that people in Jacksonville have already started, but everybody else, please take that, and we're going to try to do this to encourage people to get together for these town hall meetings. Thousands of kids come to our doors every day, and our job is to help keep them safe and welcome them and provide the services that we're charged with providing. Head Start and Early Head Start has an 87% daily attendance rate. There's about 6,000 children in our programs, and every day 87% or more show up in our doors and in our classrooms, and we're charged to take care of them. Their families are depending on us to keep them safe, to educate them, and do the wraparound services that we are charged to provide. Our SINS FINS programs, we have 4 runaway shelters around the state, and there's usually 50 or more kids in our runaway shelters every night, and over 95% of them are reunified safely back with their families. And then our case management organizations, I have a no abuse after 6 months of closure of over 94%, and that's well over 3,000 kids that we see every year in that program that are reunified, and then within 6 months they still don't have any re-abuse. So we're doing this, and we're making kids safe and keeping families together through this work. Another way we keep kids safe is by finding loving, permanent homes for kids in foster care. I know that many of you are adoptive parents, and I'm very proud to work alongside people that will take that great step and adopt children out of our foster care system and other places. And some of you are adopted children and been brought into a family and been taken care of that way. Both are special moments, and I know that you will cherish them forever. So take a look at our video highlighting Lutheran services on national.
Hi, this is Stacey Martin, and I serve as the Executive Vice President of Programs for Lutheran Services Florida. Our organization brings healing, hope, and help to nearly 500,000 people each year throughout the entire state. November is an exciting time for our LSF case management organizations as we celebrate National Adoption Month. During National Adoption Month, November 18th is set aside to raise special awareness of the many children in foster care awaiting a permanent home. As an adoptive parent myself, this day is a particularly special one. LSF is honored to celebrate with adoptive families in November each year, and we work tirelessly with our community partners to find permanent homes for children who need them. Let's hear from one of our adoptive families now.
Obviously you found it, you feel like you found a place you can be?
Yes.
Yeah. Mom, let's bring you into, you said that she's been with you since June.
Yes.
And so how did you two come to meet each other?
Lutheran Services does meet and greets, and so we went to a meet and greet at a pizza place, and during that time they had us play little games and kind of like a speed dating thing, and Ayanna was very, charismatic and sat there and said, she wanted to be president, she wanted to be the first female president, and she was going to do that. She has really big dreams, and we think she'll make a very good president.
This month is not only dedicated to the families who have opened their hearts and homes, but also to our case managers who help connect children with loving parents. The adoption process itself can be long and stressful, but our team is there, patient, selfless, and kind, helping parents and children navigate the system. At any given time, there are as many as 800 children in need of adoption across the state. Teens, sibling groups, and children with special needs in particular require adoptive homes. Because of the dedication and passion of Lutheran Services adoption specialists, case managers, and staff, 45 children found new forever homes this month. Every child deserves to be kept safe, to be loved, to be happy, and to be healthy.
All right, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Stacey, and I'd also like to thank all of the staff at LSF that work to bring together. It's really, there's no work that's more important than that work that we do in those programs. So thank you all for what you do and for sharing that really touching and inspirational story about the work we did just in 1 month this year in National Adoption Month. I'm really excited about this organization and the staff that work here. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a time to express gratitude, and I think that it's important that LSF express gratitude to our employees. And so we're launching a new program today that's called the LSF Heroes program. And what we want to be able to do is recognize staff members who have really done exceptional work, have gone above and beyond the call of duty to do something really incredible for their clients, or other staff members, or in service to the larger community, or staff members who are caught in the act of demonstrating the values of this organization in an exceptional way. So we're launching that program today, and we want to continue to celebrate throughout the year the heroes, the LSF heroes. But Hurricane Irma, as I mentioned earlier, presented some special challenges for all of us that live in the areas that were affected around the state. And it also presented an opportunity for some LSF heroes to really stand up and go the extra mile and do some really incredible things that deserve recognition. So there's a number of people that, and they don't know who they are yet, that are going to be recognized today. And so hopefully if you're in a setting where one of your coworkers gets recognized, please congratulate them. There's a really nice trophy that's coming, and again, a recognition on behalf of Lutheran Services for really doing this incredible work. I don't have time, there are a number of people, I don't have time to go through what each of these individuals did to deserve the recognition as a hero. However, if you keep your eyes out for the next employee newsletter, we'll have a detailed story on each of the heroes and the work that they did and the things that they did to warrant that recognition. So I'm going to begin announcing people from around the state, and again, if you happen to be in their vicinity, please give them a round of applause and congratulate them. So from our Head Start programs, the awardees are Wayne Foster, Cephas Johnson, Pamela Lindsay, Jean Roser, Daryl Waite, Tess Byer, Winsder Azor, and John Short. From the LSF Health Systems, I'd like to congratulate Sarah Davidson, Brian Mingle, and Buffy Reeder. Let's move on to Southwest and announce our winners there. Robert Kent, Katrina Benjamin, Nicole Scarpacci, Garrett Stevens, Raymond Ballinger, Ann Brown, Esta Burke-Reed, Anthony Cheevers, Maureen Hamill, Tony Lynn Williams, and Sharit Panino. And winners from our programs in the Southeast are Orly Lewis, Yvonne Medrano, Terrence Washington, and Lorraine Fordham. And finally, here in Tampa, we've got a few people that are award recipients, and I'd like to hand over the award to them personally. So when I call your name, if you'd please come up here and accept this award. The first LSF hero from the Tampa Bay area is Terry Doordollar. Terry. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sam.
Second, Justin Henry. Justin. Thank you so much, Justin. Come on a little closer so I can look at you. There you go.
That's the camera guy.
Next, Gwen Roan. Gwen. Thank you so much. From the Pinellas Case Management Organization, Lorna Owens. Lorna, come on up. Thank you, Lorna. Congratulations. And finally, from the Pinellas Head Start program, Dr. Ricardo Davis. Rick, are you here? He's not here, so we have a nice award that we will send to him. So again, congratulations to all of the LSF Heroes. And again, please, if you know any of these people, extend your congratulations to them as well. And if you, there'll be additional information that'll be coming out on how you can nominate people to be awarded the Hero Award in the future. And we're really excited to begin this process of recognizing the exceptional effort that takes place really every day around this organization. And again, we're very grateful for the work that everyone does. So that's it for the last town hall meeting of 2017. I look forward to seeing each of you in the upcoming new year, and I hope that you have really wonderful holidays and that you have a really blessed new year. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to everyone, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.